What up, Morning Manna fam? It is time for a brand new Morning Manna series. And when they asked me, they were like, hey, Fletch, can you knock out a Morning Manna for us? My answer is always yes. I love this venue. I love these little devotional ideas, the idea of getting up in the morning and having a concept that brings us into our time of reading the Bible and prayer and hearing from God and meeting with Him. And so immediately I started thinking, what would be fun to do as a Morning Manna series? And what came to mind immediately was manna. Now, not manna the church, but manna, the original manna. I'm talking about Exodus 16. I'm talking about those little tiny wafers that were white like coriander seed and tasted like honey wafers, is how it's described there in Exodus 16. And I thought about what manna represents and how we can think of manna devotionally. And of course, the first thing that hits me immediately is that manna is the symbol of the reality that God is the God who provides. We know that manna is what they ate, the children of Israel, as they sojourned out of Egypt, going to the promised land. For 40 years when they wandered in the wilderness, they ate manna every day. It came out of a time where they had been complaining. They came up to the desert of sin, is what it's called. And there they were, and they were hungry. And what are we going to eat? And then God says, I'll provide. So that first evening, He provides quail at night and then manna the next morning. And I thought about what it must have been like to be in their circumstance. And I fancy myself a little bit of a student of history, so I'm familiar with all of these great wars that were fought in antiquity and how many of them are actually victories of logistics. Who had the best supply train? How could they eat? And so I think of all of the hundreds of thousands of Israelites following God as He leads with a pillar of fire at night and a cloud the cloud by day. And so I thought about the reality. What would it be like? And it was a real fear, a real concern. How are we going to eat? And there is God always providing. And the truth is that God is a provider for every single one of us. And I think of all the places that we need, certainly for our food, though a lot of times we see that provision as coming from somewhere else. I work really hard and therefore I can pay for food and eat. The truth is that comes from God. But so many things in our life that we need: grace for the day, wisdom, insight, encouragement, mercy. It all comes from the hand of a God who provides. Manna is always a reminder of God's provision. I'll see you tomorrow, Morning Manna fam.